Right, and as we look into the past of what the CIC has been able to achieve or not, we also want to look into the future. And tomorrow is a big day for the candidates who start for the Kenya Certificate of Primary Education Examinations, as the results will be announced. And we just want to take a look at just how the scramble will be for the Form 1 slots for the over 900,000 candidates who start for this particular examinations. Join me here on our Super Wall as we take a look at just how these slots will be spread out. Now, let's begin with the national schools. And it says here that the top 5 in each sub-county will get the national schools of their choice. Now, if you remember that the sub-county is talking about places like Langata, Makadara, and this top 5 students in each of the sub-counties will get to have their cake and eat it, as they will be able to go to the national schools of their choice. That's what's going to happen there. And also, another point here is it doesn't matter whether the top 5 are from private or public. Any top 5 students who, of course, will qualify to get into the schools that they chose will be able to get to the schools, the national schools of their choice. That's in regard to the national schools. Let's now take a look at the second level here. And this one now is the extra county schools. Now, if you remember, these are the schools we used to call the provincial schools some time back. Now, 20% the 20% of qualifying candidates will be from the host sub-county. Will go to the provincial school, I beg your pardon, of the sub-county, of the host sub-county. Now, 40% will come from the host county. Now, it's talking about, of course, Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu. Now, the 40% of the candidates who will be able to qualify will go to these schools from the host of the county, e.g. those counties that I mentioned. Also, something else, another number here, 40% will be from other counties. This means that candidates who will qualify to join provincial schools can actually come from another county into another county. Those are now 40% of the candidates who are going to be qualified. Now, also something to note here is the 70% from public schools. 70% of all these candidates that we are talking about will be from the public schools, and only 30% will actually be from private school. Of course, that's going to raise a lot of concern about this particular numbers, the 70% from the public schools and 30% from the private schools. Let's move on to the other board there. And this one now is some other figures. Only 700,000 slots are available in public schools. And if you remember, the total number of candidates who start for the Kenya Certificate of Primary Education Examinations this year were 937,468. Now, that means that there is this number, about 237,000 students who will have to seek places either in private schools or vocational training schools. Let's now take a look at another set of numbers here. And this number right here, the 22,095 slots, these are the slots in the 103 national schools, and 66,775 will be able to join the 328 extra county schools, which we used to call the provincial schools. Moving on to another pack of numbers there. And this one is 114,907 will be able to join the 993 county schools, as 400,000 will be able to join the 6,982 sub-county schools. These are the schools that are at the grassroots level. Moving on to the final set of numbers, and this one here, 105,000 slots are available in 1,200 private schools. Now, this means that about 132,467 students will have nowhere to go, or they will have to join vocational training schools in the country. That's just a breakdown of how the scramble will be tomorrow as the results are announced for the Kenya Certificate of Primary Education. And of course, the Standard Group, the Standard newspaper, has you covered on KTN News, and of course the Standard newspaper tomorrow. Of course, we will have a breakdown of the Form 1 selection selection, of course, the disputes that will be arising as the KCPE examination results will be released. There you go. That is going to be the standard newspaper tomorrow as we prepare to know just how many students will go to which schools. The national schools, of course, being the creme de la creme of the schools in the country where Form 1 students or potential Form 1 students will be looking to join. That, of course, will be in your copy of the standard newspaper tomorrow.